Okay guys, in this example, I feel it's going to be helpful for you to understand how your equipment works together and where the overlapping points of the guards are. If you're having trouble getting out certain skin lines, chances are the equipment is what you need to look at. So let's just do a quick brief example here. In this haircut that I'm showing you right now, we have a 1 1/2 on top, and we have a skin to a skin on the bottom. And in between the 1 1/2 to the skin, I'm going to describe the process to you. So what basically happens in all haircuts is you're going to use your guards so that you can taper this hair from skin to 1 1/2 without any line in between. And I'm going to show you an easy way, or I'll explain you an easy way to do this.
Okay, one thing I want you to see that I'm doing when I use the electric shaver, it's important that we don't create any line in between the guideline, which I've established with either the trimmer or the 5-0, and the electric shaver. And the way that I accomplish this is pretty much you clean up everything off the neck. See me down here just laying it flat, cleaning everything off the very bottom. I want that to be completely down to the skin. And you can let both of the blades cut and try to remove as much bulk as efficiently as you can without discomforting the client. Next, you're going to see when you get to the top of the line, you're going to see that I'm going to come up like this, and that's going to create a pretty strong line. So then I'm going to start coming down as I reach the top, just like this. So there's going to be a peppering technique, and sometimes you're going to just use like the corner and flip your wrist a little bit, and you're just going to be like an artist. You're just going to be looking to see the effect that it has and make sure that you're not creating additional lines.
Okay, I want to take a minute and I want to direct your attention to the top right corner of your screen where you're going to see this little diagram that I drew. Excuse the drawing. But anyways, this is the shape of a head. And on top he has a 1 1/2 with the closed taper.
Open taper, closed taper.
On the top of the head. I'm using my detachable clipper, but you could put a 1 1/2 and close the taper on any clipper that you have. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a guideline with an open taper. Just open the taper, and we're going to go up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I'm going to give ourselves a little bit of room to begin the transition. What's happening with this technique is I'm going to be able to keep my fade right in the area that I want it, and that guideline that's just being created on top is going to indicate to me that I don't want to go any higher than that, or I'm going to create additional work for myself. So now what I'm going to do after I've made that guideline, I'm going to close that taper about 1/4 of the way, and I'm going to go just underneath that guideline, and I'm going to start tipping it on its corner little by little. And after I've done that with 1/4 close, I'm going to close it about halfway, and I'm going to repeat the process just underneath that area I just worked in. And slowly you're going to see the line start to dissipate until you're all the way closed with your taper and you have pretty much wiped out the entire line. There might still be some line there from when you did your electric shaver or your original guideline, which is why I'm going to go back with my trimmer after this, and I'm going to clean up any little areas that I feel. So you're going to train your eyes to see these kind of things, so little by little you'll start to develop an eye for the detail, and you'll start to see exactly where you need to go. So right now I'm just going to use my trimmer, do a little touch up, and I see a little area here that I probably could have done a little better with the electric shaver. So I'm going to go back to the electric shaver just for a second, and I'm going to touch up just one small area. And notice that I'm moving down. That's because I want to cut with the grain. I don't want to create any more lines. I'm trying to smooth out the transition. Next, I'm going to repeat the exact same process with the one open. But you're not going to see an additional line being created, because with the one open, going into a 1 1/2 closed, there is not going to be a line created by that. So you can go up just above the parietal ridge and you can begin to close your taper just a little bit at a time until you begin to see the transition that you like. You might have to go back in with your half or your 1/16. So now I'm going to put my half or my 1/16 and I'm going to repeat the process. The taper is open. I'm going to travel up. I'm going to listen for it to cut. I'm going to watch it cut, and this is just going to polish it up a little bit. Now this part of the fade is starting to look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to bring this diagram back up in the right hand corner. You have 1 1/2 on the top. If I take a number 1 and I open the taper, I can travel into that length without creating a line because the distances are so close together. And it's the same thing that if I did a 1 open and then I close the 1 and I go just below that, I can travel into that line without creating a line of demarcation. It's the same thing from the 1/16. If that's open and I travel into a closed number 1 area, it will work all the way down to skin. So if you ever get lost and you're not sure what to do, just go back to this diagram and it'll tell you exactly what to do, exactly what you can take into what without creating any additional work for yourself. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process on this side. And I wanted to bring up the think tank, and in this think tank, the conversation that I want to bring up is, what are you doing to advertise? Are you handing out cards? Are you making flyers? Are you giving away haircuts for free? Are you working Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube? What is it that you're doing? Is it working? And is it effective? Please leave a comment. Let's join the conversation and contribute to the community. Make this industry the best that it could be for all of us. Let's learn together. Let's grow together. I hope the video helped. I hope you're learning. And until I see you in the next video, stay tuned. I got a lot of stuff coming. Thanks for watching.